Come on, let's go live. We are live at 5:03.
Oh, it's all right.
It's all right.
I didn't fall asleep at all last night. I was up to like 5:15 in the morning.
Are you hearing the theme song?
No.
You are not. Okay, well then we got a problem because I heard you talking, and we are live. But let me play with this again. This app is doing funky doodle things
Funky
here.
doodles.
Funky doodle things. There we go. Now you can hear my voice better.
I can hear.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not like echoing in the room. Let me make sure the camera's right. Your camera looks good. Does my camera look okay?
Yeah, you look great.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, now there you are. All right. We're good there. All right. So let's start over. You ready?
Yeah.
They say 3, 2, 1. Now you can hear it.
Now I can hear
I don't know. It picks Tuesdays to do that every week. Switch. It's all right, though. Valerie's here. Hi, Valerie.
it. Hi, Valerie.
Steve's here.
For the weekend. Hey, Heather.
Heather's here. Hi, Heather. Hey, Steve, I'm going to tell you I appreciate your input on a topic, hot topic. A little too soon for that one, and we'll get to it someday. But a little too soon to hit that one up right now. So thank you, though, for that. Gotta let the so to speak, leaves settle on the ground on that one, literally. Ed Sawicki's here.
Hey, Ed. Hey, Johnny.
Rainy days and Tuesdays. You got that right. JF is in the house. Johnny Fink.
Hey,
Jay
Jay.
Grant. We love Jay Grant.
Hey, Bob.
Bob.
It's your month, Bob.
Bob.
Bob. Bob. Bob.
Hey, on his night, can you you look at your little calendar there when you get to the bar sometime and see if the big table's reserved? Because
It is for Bob Klein.
It is? Oh, because we want to have a haul around town watch party again. But I don't have to have that table.
You want to do the couch or high top?
I do the couch.
Do the couch.
Let's do the couch in that area. Yeah.
All right.
Haul around town watch party.
That in now.
Yes, ma'am. Unless you book it for big bucks and then book it for big bucks, and we'll put our shit on the pool table.
Well, Bob's got the big table.
Yeah. Well, of course he does, because he's bringing an entourage. Right, Bob?
Bob.
Who's here? Tina Klein. Hi, Tina.
Bob.
Look at that cute doggy. Bill, thank you for being here. Brian, thank you. Hey, I'll be at the jam on Thursday if y'all are going to show up for the
It's
jam.
a special
It's going to
one.
be a good one. It is.
You know that was Dave Wade's idea.
I love Dave Wade. He's a great human.
Got a big heart right there, man.
Yeah. Damon, how are you? Megan Miller, thank you. Robert Simpson, he's going to join me Wednesday with the Oscar Wildes on the show.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing on St. Patrick's Day at the bar. They're
St.
kicking off our day for us.
Yes. Carla, there's Brad. Hi,
I know
Brad.
something really impressive about Brad.
What's that?
One thing I like about Brad, working with Brad and his band, is I know we've only done this twice, but he messages me the next day or whatever. And I don't know if it's because of Lent or what it is, but drink sales are down. We're busy as shit, but drink sales are down. And this guy pays attention so much that when he was messaging me, he says, it looks like we had a really great crowd. It was awesome. But what I could see was that it was really light at the bar. And I don't think there was very many drink sales. I was like, well, you were spot on. Like we were probably down $2,000 from what it should be.
That's great that he observed that.
I know. A
lot of people don't.
By him.
That's awesome. Hi, Alice.
Yeah.
Steve.
He pays attention. I just wish more bands did that.
Jeaner.
There's
Jeaner
a lot
McCann.
that do, but you know.
Mm-hmm. There's Jeaner McCann. Hi, Jeaner.
Hi, Tina. Sorry.
We
My
love
mind
you.
was everywhere.
Oh, that's fine. John Brait, my good buddy John Brait's in the house. How you doing, John?
Hi, John.
Jim McCarthy has joined us as well. Yes. And the doorman is here.
Hey, Stefan.
Stefan the doorman. It's like Call
I
me
like
doorman, but
how
better.
it's your name that comes up. That's how we know it's you, but you make sure we know it's you by finishing everything you write by from Stefan, the doorman.
Stefan, can we get a picture of you at the door some night and put it in your profile so you're not a blank face?
I think he likes that, though.
I do too. I think maybe he's hiding out from me or something. I don't know. He's in witness protection. Who knows what he is? Valerie said Oscar Wildes are good. Thank you for that, Valerie. Looking forward to having him on the show. That'd be fun. And yeah, I have Frankie from Frankie and the Knockouts on early Thursday at 2:00 for a special edition too. We're going to have a little interview there. And my buddy
Nice.
Jeff Stevens from Mix 1077. That I've known Jeff for 40 years. He is the morning host, and he's going to be on with me. And we're going to talk to Frankie and do some good stuff. So
Nice.
looking forward to all that. But today is Hot Topic Tuesday. And we have a lot of people on a rainy day watching. So, Ceris, why don't you take the first topic today?
Okay. Something that I've noticed is, I get a lot of messages. I know Scott, has opinion. We all have these opinions, but we get a lot of messages of you can't really call yourself a music venue or, unless you have original music, why don't you have more original music? You should bring original music in. You should do that. And, Scott and I both love original music. All music was original when it first came out. So it's got nothing to do with original, but for business, it's tough because it doesn't tend to draw a crowd because people can't sing along to it. It's just what it is. That's why there's a lot of these clubs don't have it. But a lot of these clubs are trying to integrate it, but it has to be slowly. You can't just do a takeover. But one of the things that I find interesting about it, because we've been trying for a while to bring original music in. Like we book a few bands through the year that are original music, and they'll throw in a couple of covers. And you know what I notice about those days, and it's funny, is even the people that keep making comments about how we should have original music, it's important to have original music, they don't show up for the original music days unless it's their original music that we are highlighting.
I knew you were going there with this.
But isn't that weird?
But it happens in so many venues.
Right. So whether you like it, it's just weird. Nobody shows up for the original music, which goes to the point of, and it's not that nobody, we're trying to build, our Tuesdays are pretty good. Their crowds, there's a little, some people show up and everything takes a minute. But I love to see people bitch and complain and point fingers and almost mock other musicians for not playing original music. And then when they do, they don't show up and support. These same people that are bitching and complaining are still going to the same bars, listening to the same cover songs that everybody else is.
That they're bitching about.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, it is. And it's like tonight, you've got a big show tonight.
Got a great
Kevin
one.
Fox, Until Rust. I mean,
on Tuesdays. Yeah.
Until Rust's album is great. And if they play all those off their album, it's going to be a wonderful night for that. But will they come?
I don't know. And slowly it's building, but it's building depending on who the artist is, right? Well,
Right.
How do you get to know these artists? You get to know them by going and learning about them, which is why it's tough for original music or original musicians, because if somebody doesn't know your name, they're not going to make the effort. They don't make the effort to go.
I like to use Matt Waters as an example. This guy is so freaking talented and so good at what he does, but yet you put him in a setting outside where he normally plays and people just don't come because it's I don't know. I mean, why wouldn't you want to go see an artist that's that talented, instead of someone who may be more mediocrely talented playing covers? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't care what your preference is, but I'm a little tired of the bitching and complaining and pointing fingers at other musicians or bookers or venue owners when they're saying you're not booking original music, when they're just not booking your original music. I had a whole original night last year with two local bands.
Right. Well, on the show one day, I offended some people, and I got some hate messages on it, but I said original music is an acquired taste. And what I meant when I said that was not derogatory towards it, but it is something that people just don't always embrace in the masses.
They don't.
And, it's just like, if you don't like bluegrass, you're not going to go see a bluegrass band. And if all you like is the cover bangers that you can sing along to, then that's what you're going to go see.
Right.
But acquired taste means you have to learn to love it, and you have to learn to embrace the fact that this person has written this song out of their heart and soul, and they're playing it for you, and you have to respect that somewhat. And it's just not happening.
Which is why I wanted to bring it to the B&B, because I do love music, and I love the effort that people put into their original music. I mean, it's beautiful. Some of it is just, it's just beautiful, and they deserve a stage. But there's a reason why it can't be a 7-day-a-week stage, for this exact reason, because even the ones bitching about it aren't even showing up. And we do have original, like, yeah, Gina, we do. That's what I said earlier. CFG, Gina, Scotty Bratcher. I mean, there's Archer's Gate, a ton of bands that do original music at the, not as much as covers, because that's the reality is doesn't sell as much. Why? Because of what we just said. But music is amazing. And it's just irritating when people point the fingers at others or put down musicians or venues or bands because they're not doing original, but you're not showing up anyways if they are.
Yeah, if you're going to bitch about it, come support it. If you're going to bitch about it not being done and it does get done somewhere, come support the damn thing.
Support it.
Yeah, it's interesting. And Jay Grant has a great comment there about how bands bring their own songs into their sets, and that's good to introduce that, and not in an impactful way of saying we're going to do all originals all night, because that's not going to draw like if you were playing the covers. It's a fact, unfortunately. And I saw Sugar Rock, our friends from Sugar Rock, over the weekend, and she introduced a song. She says, "This is one of our originals," and played it. Crowd loved it, but it was one of 15 songs in the set that was an original.
I love when bands do that. I love when bands come to play at the Bell, and then like they have like three or four of their original songs that they slip in there, because what they're doing is they're known for being a cover band in Cincinnati, but they're slowly integrating their original music and letting people hear it. And that's the smartest way to do it when you're still trying to make money off of your band. Because when it comes to bars, most like in Cincinnati, in the suburbs, they want the cover. It's just what sells. It is.
There's some original music venues that just feature that in Cincinnati.
Right.
And which is great, and I don't know what they're making. I don't know if they're bringing the register or not with that. I've not been to them very much, but I will say what you're doing is good. I mean, what you're doing on a Tuesday is a good thing. It's an off night for you, a night where it wouldn't be that busy. And you're enhancing your night with some people a chance to get on stage and play their originals to a crowd and get a feel for it, which is fantastic.
And so what I've done now after the 6 months of Kevin Fox's is I've started to add, like what I did with Matt Waters. He kicked it off, another Tuesday of the month of original music where it's just one artist. So I'm trying to feature one artist to see how that goes. And that's how you slowly build it, bringing in the one original night I did last summer with 2 original bands. If you build it, they'll come. So that's the goal. Last night, Ed said to me, do you want me to come in on Tuesdays and pitch and take pictures of the songwriter showcase? Yes, I do, because we're building it. I want to give this a go to really give original music a chance in the Bell. But the people that are bitching have got to show up and support their fellow musicians, because you can't make fun of them anymore because they're doing it. We're all trying to do it.
Well, and what you led in with on the show is perfect, because every song at one time was an original that nobody knew. right down to Stairway to Heaven. It was an original
Yeah.
song that got played for the first time in a bar somewhere, probably. And,
Yeah,
you got to give it a chance.
there's now people that sing along with Gina and Johnny's songs.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
And why? Because they're doing it the right way. They do a combination. They built their following. They took the time. They played what everybody knew, and then they played their things and integrated it with their music. And now it's part of their show. And now, you don't even, you just know their songs.
And, if you pick up their CD then and you start playing it and you think, okay, I've heard them do that live. I've heard that song, and that is a good marriage then when you're playing that in your car or whatever. Melissa, thank you for that. We have a lot of people that post videos. Just please be cautious if you're posting videos of a band. Do them justice. And don't let some off-key singer be singing just to the right of you and making the band sound like they can't sing, because it happens. I'm not a big guy on videos. I love Bill's videos. He's respectful about it. He takes them right. But there's a lot of people that put up crappy videos on their page, and that's a whole nother show. But thank you for that. And I would be there tonight, too, if I didn't have a gig, because I love to see new artists play. And I have actually sat in an audience and cried before listening to a song that is just so heartfelt that they wrote about something in their life. And,
I was majorly impressed with Matt Waters' music.
So good.
Songwriting skills. The flow of it, everything. It was you just felt like you were listening to these songs your entire life. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Brad, that is a great statement there at the end. The greatest gift you can give that song is simply to listen.
Yeah.
It really is. I love Brad. Got his together. Valerie says every popular song began with an original. It does.
Scotty Bratcher.
Hold on. I'll get there.
God, he makes me laugh.
He is.
So Scotty, I got to respond to Emily.
Where is Scotty? Man, there it is. It's way down here. Notice people think the lyrics to all my songs are boo. Come on, Bratcher. You got a huge following. He does. Mason. Interesting.
Well, it's true, but he's not wrong. It's just sometimes you sell your music. Sometimes it's the same as my venue. We got to sell the ball. We got to sell the booze. The bands.
That's a great statement, Mason.
The bands are there to help sell the booze. They got to sell their music, or they got to sell their tip jars. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. And even the ones complaining are proving this point.
Thank you, Jay, for that about Matt. I love Matt Waters, man. I think he's an extremely talented individual. and yeah, so do you guys out there think there's any problem with introducing originals into your set list? Some bands are adamantly against it. I mean, they're like, oh, we got to play. Every song's got to be a top 40 banger, What do you think? I'm not opposed to it even during the night, as long as it doesn't become here's 5 originals in a row that end up losing your crowd, because then the bar gets involved in that because you're costing them money. But to throw in a song or two here or there, I think it's great.
Yeah, I do too.
You look at Half-Life, Jay's in that band with Shane and all that. I mean, they're guys that could throw originals at everybody and they'd love them. But there are limitations, and there are songs that they play that are covers that everybody wants to hear. And, but I'd like to see bands like that do more and write more. And, it's interesting though, what you said. You let in with the whole thing about people bitching, but not showing up. And why do they do that? We need more live original music, and then you don't see them. It's weird.
It is weird.
Can I say weird? It's weird. Carla says she remembers Billy Idol asking if he could play some new songs. Yes. A lot of times though, and I've said it on the show many times, and Karis, you've gone to concerts too. when the artist says, okay, here's some new songs off our album you haven't heard yet, everybody goes and gets a beer.
Mm-hmm.
They don't stay and support it because until it becomes a hit, I don't give a shit. You know, I mean, that's kind of the way it is. And that's hard on an artist because they took time to write these songs. I mean, some songs come quick, some songs come over years. And
yeah, it's true.
so get out and support the original nights, people, on the weeknights. Those are important things to go support. Like tonight, I mean, Kevin Fox, he's a great player in himself, and then he hosts this wonderful live music event on Tuesdays once a month at the Bell, and singer-songwriter showcase. It's right down your alley. If you like originals, right there it is. It's there for you.
You know, Steve, I was thinking of 1330 when I was talking about bands sprinkling in their originals. They did a great job at that when they played at the Bell, and their originals were really good.
I love Steve too. Steve,
Yeah.
you're a good dude, man. Yes. And yeah, and like you said, the term sprinkle in, it you got to ease into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't knock anybody that says we're going to be an original band, but good luck to you getting booked in places.
Oh, I know.
You know?
Yeah.
It's hard because it's a matter of cost versus benefit. You know, I mean, what it costs to have the band, what it costs to do the thing, and then when nobody shows up.
And I know it takes time, but I just want to put it out there because I'm still seeing people point fingers at musicians for playing. I was like, first of all, I'm really sick and tired of this whole pointing fingers at other musicians because they're doing something differently than you. You're an asshole. Grow up. But they are doing their original music. You're just not showing up because you'll support them if it's you. If you're not being booked, then you don't want anything to do with it. You show up for your shit. You're not showing up for anybody else's.
Or the other thing that gets me too is the people that show up to sing with that band occasionally, or the band.
Yeah.
And they're the ones talking about all the original stuff and all that. And I don't know. I'm getting on a roll here, and I need to back off because I'll piss everybody off. But it just it's fake people bother me. They do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
They put it out there. They want to preach. They want to act like that. Look in your own freaking closet, people, and fix your own shit. And then quit bitching about other bands or what they're doing, because they're all trying to make it.
Everybody's trying, man.
Nobody says I'm going to go play this bar tonight and suck. You know, I mean, you don't say that to yourself.
There's a reason why I don't book certain people, because their attitudes are kind of similar to that, though. They're like, oh, I'm just playing. I don't really care. You're just playing for a paycheck. You're playing for the cheap booze. You don't give a shit about the audience. If you did, you would be more accommodating with your volume, or you'd be interested in maybe switching up your song list, or you would spend more time on like whatever it may be, but you don't. It's a paycheck to you, and people can see that on stage. There's a reason why a lot of these residencies are getting canceled, because it's the same old thing every single week, and they're getting oversaturated, and you're not changing it up.
I can talk about a residency I've watched over the years that has become just basically obsolete in a lot of places, because it's the same damn songs every time. So who's going to come hear you not change it up once in a while? And then the other side of it being, what is happening there?
Well, every time Kevin cooks, the fire detector goes off. So he's making sure that it doesn't.
Is that what I'm hearing in the background?
Yes.
Him cooking? Okay.
Yes.
So where was I? I was
right when I'm in the middle of.
I got totally sidetracked, but I was talking about something that had to do with that, and I just lost it there. But it's covers. We've talked about covers so many times, and we've talked about originals so many times, and whatever turns you on, do it.
Do it, but quit picking on other people for doing something you're not. And if you really if you're only going to support live music, well, then support it.
And there are some bands playing a lot of covers who they're really tough to play. Some songs that aren't 3-chord songs. I mean, they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
So take the covers with the originals, and it's like we all got to divide up now. You know, I mean, don't you notice that? It's all like, okay, we're going to fight. I'm an all original guy, and this guy over here, I'm an all cover guy. We can't be in the middle and say, hey, we like both.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be happy about that. Oh well. What else did you have? You had something else too.
I had what were the other ones that I had?
I don't know. My mind's shut. My money on my mind. What's Kevin frying back there?
I think what are we having? Steak. Steak with roasted potatoes.
Like a garlic cream
and a garlic cream sauce.
Oh my God. You are so freaking spoiled, lady.
No shit.
You really are.
No
so
shit.
Spoiled. When Kevin, come to my house and cook for my ass, will you?
You can just come have dinner with us.
I will. I'd come to the Nether Brick in the Wall kitchen, as it's called there.
Yeah.
I'd love it. That'd be great. So yeah, you had something really good. What was it? We were talking before the show went on.
Well, I had one where the lately people aren't really wanting to tell the whole story of why they're not playing certain bars. They're just telling the part of the story that benefits them and makes the venues not look so good, maybe.
Fits their narrative, so to speak.
It's their narrative, which is, I mean, I think we're all used to that.
Yeah.
You know, it for newer bands, it takes a minute to establish a following, especially in new venues. And not all bars are assholes, and not all bars are trying to get live music and trying to take advantage of bands. But it takes more than one time. And doing your research after the fact is sort of like wiping your ass before you take a shit. So knowing, I mean, it's true though. So if the question is, what is the number that we have to hit to make this work? Wouldn't you ask that before going on? And knowing that there has to be a number, wouldn't you spend the time promoting? And wouldn't you, why not tell the whole story of why you're no longer playing a venue opposed to just, well, we didn't make enough money, so we're not getting booked again? No, that's not how it was. Every single band that I bring in, I have to make a number for that, for what they pay has to make sense for each number, whatever that level is, because there's different levels. And plus, my bar that holds 165 at your price is going to be at a very different level than the bar that holds 500 or 1,000 level. So there's all different levels. Everything's different. And when somebody asks for more money after the first time, and it's a bit of a jump, and they haven't even made enough money for the first time, it wasn't covered at the door, and the bar didn't make, I give a choice. And I say, well, I'll make you a deal. I'll meet you at the number you're asking. But if we don't generate the venue I need for it to make sense, then that will be the last time you play. Or take the time to build the following. Because trust me, a ton of bands have taken the time to get the following, and now they're getting that and above. And then instead of asking, what is that number? What do I need to do? Yada, yada, yada. They just take that quick. This is a lot. This is more than one band. Take that quick extra bit of money. And then they think because their crowd showed up that it was a great night. I take screenshots and send the numbers. I have nothing to hide. I'm very transparent. And I say, you didn't hit the numbers. And then I said, you didn't hit the numbers. So unfortunately, this was our deal. I can't have you back because it doesn't make sense. It costs me money. But the story that's being told is we didn't make them enough money, so we're not allowed back.
Which is untrue.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, you could you could take what you're doing, the deal you throw at them, and they could probably interpret it as that, but that's not what you're doing. You're
But
doing
that's not
this
what I did. I gave
incentive
many
package,
options.
basically.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was very fair. But they just want to keep picking. And instead of taking accountability and then asking after the fact, well, what number do we need to make? Well, why didn't you ask that before?
Well, and that's, again, no advertising on the band's part a lot of times, along with, because I can tell you, of all bars, your venue advertises who's there, who's playing, all your events. You don't miss a trick. In fact, you beat me to the punch on an event the other day and you sent it to me as a co-host. So, and I appreciate that, because it's just things that sometimes slip your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making the events the month before for all of the events. Mm-hmm. When I notice you only start promoting the week of, why not do the research? Like, don't get mad at me. I'm not the problem. And I'm not saying you're a problem either, but don't get mad at me. I gave you a choice. If you really want that raise right now, you can have it. But I don't have to book you if you're not going to, if you're down $2,000, less than you were the first time, I can't keep paying you that. And you didn't make the money at the door. Do you know how much money that costs me? I mean, I'm a business. You're a business.
People don't put their brain don't engage their brain with this. You hold 165 people.
That's right.
All right. And let's just, out of the blue, let's say the Blue Note. Okay. So let's say 600 people come in the Blue Note. Every one of those people buys one drink. So you get 165 drinks. They get 600 drinks. There's a huge difference in profit margin.
That's what I said when they did ask after. I said, unfortunately, we didn't make that number, not even close, actually. It was lower than our Thursday numbers usually. They said, well, what is the number that we have to make, if you don't mind me asking? I don't mind at all. You should have asked me that when you asked for more money. I said, this is what I need to make it make sense. This is why it doesn't work for not all venues are the same. Not all, you don't watch the same porn every time. You don't,
You're on a roll today, girl.
Like shit like that. It's different. There's variety. Everything is different. I
would agree.
And you got to put that in, sometimes it takes a minute. And I'm not trying to, I said, I don't want to force you to play for anything less, but I can't be forced to pay you more either. And then I can't be the asshole because I can't afford to pay you that money. It's a team thing. This is how much money I can pay because that's what I'm making. That doesn't make me an asshole, dude.
I'm going to tell you an interesting conversation I had with a local band member, a very prominent local band member, who said to me, this was his quote, "We aren't taking less than $1,800 a night." And I said, allow me to list the amount of venues that will not pay you $1,800 a night, and they're off your list then. So quit cold calling them and saying, I want to play there, because they're not going to come up to your $1,800.
Right.
Because they cannot do it. It's not physically possible.
I can't.
You look at our friends from Mr. Burroughs Tavern. Place holds 100 and some change people. Very similar size to your place. You can't make that work unless you want to take a loss.
Right.
And who is in business to take a loss?
Exactly. And I just wish when they told the whole story, when they told the story, it was the whole story. It's exposed just, they didn't want us there anymore because we don't make them enough money. Come on now. You made a choice. I can't be penalized because I have a venue of 165 people. I'm not an asshole. And
why can't a band adjust to the room they're playing? That's the other thing. Why does it have to be this? This is our firm. We're not taking less than that.
And that's it. All right.
Now, I'm not going to do one of my shows for a slice of pizza and $50. It's not going to happen. Some people say that's okay for them. That's fine. But if you're in a band and you can't be flexy with You'll get a lot more gigs that way if you say, hey, this bar can't generate $1,800 for the night to pay me.
We literally can't.
Why wouldn't you do
and
it?
I'm not gonna penalize my customers by charging more at the door for just a regular Saturday when I can just get a really great band that does the same thing for a little less. I'm sorry. There's just
You said penalize.
penis-lized.
You did.
Penis-lized.
That's interesting.
You know,
Now-
I love bands when they reach out to me. Still, I haven't reached back out. I love bands when they reach out to me and they're like, you know what? I was thinking about what you said and that makes sense. And I'm like, all right, let's work together. Bob Klein's a really good example. He didn't even come in at a high number. Who's like, I recognize the difference, you know? Fuck, like you think I could pay what he
That's what he
earns?
just said.
Oh, what did he say?
I mean, he's basically saying that if all shows are not the same.
They're not. They can't be. They physically can't be.
And if you're
I would have to charge for what some of these bands are asking, $25 at the door.
yeah.
Who's going to pay that for a cover band in Cincinnati?
And it's amazing the amount of, and I see it because I do that list every week, and I will tell you, those who have raised their rates to extraordinary levels are not playing nearly what they used to.
They're not, and maybe that's their plan. And the problem is everybody's like, you should, I'm not raising my prices. I'm not penalizing my customers so that way I can afford one or two bands. Work with the venues, guys. If you don't, then don't. I heard one of the band members say this from a band who, I'm going to keep my mouth shut, but I heard them say this to somebody. They said, oh, this one venue paid us this much, so now we're not going to take anything less.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I'm going to say this. Let's see if that one venue is there a year from now.
But it's also what kind of venue? Mm-hmm. Is it a casino? A little different than a little dive bar, isn't it?
Yeah, casino shows
Not all
pay
venues
great.
are the same. Not all set of tits are the same. Not all penises are the same. They're all different.
Wow. Take it to the next level, will you? Kevin, help.
What's he going to do?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He's busy cooking.
Oh, my goodness. So we've covered today people who bitch about no original music, but then don't show up when you have original music. And we're certainly talking about bands who want to make the narrative their own to say why they don't play a place. And
we're not all assholes. I'm just tired of that narrative. Yeah. I'm just like, that's not fair. And you know, when I had somebody reach out to me about that, and they're like, well, we heard that they're not going to be playing your venue anymore because they didn't make enough money. And I said, yeah, well, here's the screenshot of what the conversation was.
You're not a freaking concert venue. Now, there are bands who play. You're a music venue. Concert venues are different.
Yeah.
Casino shows are different. I mean, you can go make big bucks at the casino if you don't care that the audience could give a crap about what you're playing.
And we're not an outdoor festival either.
No.
I mean, and that's another thing.
I mean,
like,
you know, there's a Saint Festival in Cincinnati, especially through the fall season. There's a Saint Festival on every corner, and they're gambling and they're selling beer and they're making huge money, so they can have a budget for a band that's $2,000 or $2,500.
Yeah,
you know, and I get frustrated with it.
I get so frustrated because, and I know a lot of people are like, you got to just let it go. I was like, but I actually give a shit. I'm not one of, there's some venues that don't give a shit about the musicians, that make us look bad and give us a bad name. And that's not me. And I don't want to be compared to that. Because I did this because I love music. Because I love musicians. Like so it's just like, excuse me, but F you, dude. Don't put me in that category because you're not getting your way.
There's Bob. I mean, Bob's saying what I was saying. It's a band in Columbus that got big heads and priced themselves out of their market. Now they're basically begging for gigs and have 75% less gigs than they had. It's a
and you know
fact.
what, Bob? I think there's some that don't want to play that much, and then there's some that are pretending that they don't want to play that much because they know that they can't because they're not getting the gigs.
Hi, Dave.
Back long ago when I was working in bars, I would watch the crowd size and also watch the bartenders, see how busy they were. Sometimes I could get register numbers, but not often. I kept a notebook. Then if I seen the numbers rise, I would advise the band that they had the numbers to ask for a bump if the bar could afford it. That's how it should be.
Dave's a smart guy. Dave's been in this business for eons, and he is a smart guy.
He's spot on.
Yes.
And here's the thing. If my register matches it, the band is getting a bump, and they're not going to have to ask for it. Some days are not as good as others. We were packed the last 2 weekends, like packed wall to wall, but nobody was drinking. Now that's not the band's fault, but that's not my fault either. So I can't give extra, but.
Do you remember the Frosty Balls comment from a week or so ago?
Yeah.
Well, I just got a text message from someone who will remain nameless. So you're telling me not all penises are the same?
They're Frosty Balls.
Now you have made the new buzzword of the week. Oh, Lord. Thanks, JB. Hi, Brian from White Knuckle Weekend. Thank you. Bob says these guys are total pretenders. They want to play all the time, got greedy, and it bit them in the ass. There's a lot of bands right now being greedy, man. I'm sorry, I got to say it.
And what a weird time to be greedy when bars are at their toughest of like nobody's drinking. It's been astonishing to me the amount of bands that have raised, and I get raising it. I'm not saying you guys don't deserve it or aren't worth it because worth is based on an opinion. I'm not saying that, but what a weird time to be asking for it when is noticeably different than it was in 2023. Like the drinking is, and the amount of reports that have come out is like, how do you think we're paying these bands from what we're selling? So it's just the balance isn't there. You're asking for more, but we're making less.
I had an owner the other day tell me they felt it is worse now than when COVID was going on.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's getting to that point.
And Zach Sweeney has a question. He says, can you pay a percentage of bar sales? That's an interesting question. I've heard people bring that up.
You're not going to want to do that at my bar because my drinks are inexpensive. I'm not going to get those kind of bands because most, you're not going to want that.
There's such a variety of places, though. There's places that require a band to sell so many tickets to play there. I mean, and you don't do that stuff. And that's a scam. That's a scam and a half.
I'm not trying to scam the band. And the reason I don't do percentage is because we have inexpensive drinks. I'm not going to penalize the band because of my, inexpensive drinks. And I'm not going to raise my prices that much to make it fair because I'm not going to run out my customers. It's a balance. It's, that's why I charge a cover. So that way I can get that covered, hopefully get that covered.
And, you want to be successful as a band, load up the trucks and get people to the venue. That's what you need to do.
Thanks, Tina.
And Tina, thank you. And she knows best too. She's got O'Connor's Irish Pub up in Springfield, and she knows what it's like to have crowds that the music pays for itself and doesn't sometimes. And you see Tina adjust her schedule a lot, and she has to be very cognizant, like you do, of what's going on in town this weekend.
There is, Leah. There is there is a number that needs to be hit. I know a lot of bars, they do the 10%. The problem is I have to adjust mine because I make mine a lot higher. Like I make it so it's these smaller bars have it's a little more difficult for us because we're dealing with. I just know how it works. I just know there's a number I need to hit. Yeah, but I'm not going to announce that to the world.
Well, and again,
yeah,
there is more to the story than selling beer and profiting from it, because
thank you, Courtney.
There's so much more that has to be paid for.
Yeah, there's a lot more. And I'm not trying to, my goal is to make the money at the door so that way that, and unfortunately, it doesn't work about 60% of the time. I'm having to take it out of my pocket, which is why I have to be strict with other bands, is because a lot of bands aren't meeting the requirements. They're not bringing in enough people. If you brought in enough people to cover your rate, then no questions asked.
And Jim, there are a lot of philosophies and views on why people aren't drinking anymore and so many things to blame it on. But if you figure it out, if anybody figures out that algorithm, please let us know, because it changes from weekend to weekend and it changes from person to person. And dry January has put a whammy on the bars. I mean, that's just some little buzz term. The marijuana has put a definite whammy on the bars.
Oh, that's put a huge one on it. That's one of the biggest.
And the governor is putting a whammy on the bars.
And the healthy lifestyle. And yeah, he has it against bars. I don't care. I don't care what side that is, but he's got it in for bars. He does not like the alcohol industry at all. And he's made that very clear. And Courtney, thanks, man. I mean, it's true.
Well, and it's funny how tips work too. One thing I am not a proponent of is having somebody run the bar with a tip jar and stick it in people's face and say, "Here, pay for the band." That to me is very offensive. But if you like what you hear and, you would go out to a movie and spend $20 on popcorn, why don't you go up and throw $20 in their tip jar?
Right.
Help the band out a little bit.
If I'm going out, I'm always tipping the band. I tip my bands sometimes,
Right. But, a good product deserves a little endorsement and a little money. And
they do.
Bob says, yep, many bands refuse to believe this is true. They see a packed house and assume the bar is just flush with cash. Not true.
It's not true. And you're right, Bob. That's the thing. Oh, the Bell and the Bear's always packed. They must be rolling in it.
Don't you wish?
Don't I wish? And it's not that I'm doing something wrong, which everybody likes to say, well, then she's clearly not good at what she does. No, I'm getting them in the door. That's not the issue. I can't force alcohol down their throats. So much water, Tina. So much water.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we're about there, but I'm looking at a few more comments here. Thank you guys for all the comments today. Says, my band is a 3-piece and we play smaller venues. Feel the same rules apply regardless of dollar amount. We work with each venue owner to see our owner when we are booked. So good. Communication is the key too. And like Kara said earlier, if you would have asked the goal of what you need to hit, like number wise, maybe you could have done a little homework and got some people there and hit that number. Or maybe you could encourage people to, go to the bar and visit Vanessa and get a drink, and those kind of things that I see some bands do very well and other bands could give a crap about. And
I wish more people. I think a lot of people now just play music. It's the teamwork thing.
Yeah,
I wish there was more teamwork.
And it is so hard. And I'm gonna talk for Karis here for a minute because she doesn't always pump her own tires up, but I will. So hard to manage a bar and run a bar with all the outside influences that have their hands out, and including, we've talked about BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, all that stuff, the things like that. We've talked about all that, but there are so many people coming to you each week that need paid. And people don't see that side of it, and they don't see the rising cost of liquor, and they don't see the rising cost. If you're in a food establishment, I don't know how people are doing it with the food right now. The food cost is, go to the grocery, man. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out.
It's crazy.
And your electric bill my electric bill has doubled in my house. I can't imagine what it's like in a business.
It's crazy the amount.
Especially if you're using old systems like 3-phase systems and all that just suck the power, man.
People got no idea.
Yeah, it's so don't always point fingers in the direction of the venue owner, because first and foremost, these venue owners are closing up faster than you can blink an eye at. And people are just saying, screw it. You know, I can go make money being a Walmart greeter. You know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
at that point. I bet you you've said it one time, and I know you're not a Debbie Downer, but you've said it one time. Is it all worth it? Tina, I know, has said that.
It's not that it's not worth it. It's that how long am I going to be able to last?
Yeah. Thank you, Andrew. That was nice of you.
Oh, nobody locally has things going on regularly. Thursdays, jazz supports local business and local bands. I never an issue drinking, especially when you have bad as. Oh, thanks, Andrew.
Hey, speaking of that, let's talk about Thursday. Jeff Meadows sponsoring this week.
Yes.
Jeff Meadows Law Firm. And we've got a little special thing happening on Thursday night. You want to tell everybody?
We do. Johnny Stone, one of the regular players at the bar on Thursdays, he comes by, always stands there waiting patiently and waiting to get on with his guitar. Dave Wade had a great idea of doing a spotlight on him this Thursday. So this Thursday, we have a special spotlight on Johnny Stone, a very well-deserved spotlight.
Thank you, David Taylor. He says, I can take a lower base rate at a place I know I'll kill it in tips. So there.
Yeah.
And the bands learn too.
Dave Taylor is very easy to work with and very fair. Very fair.
He's not gouging anybody.
No.
And I agree 100% with you too. Bands are making sometimes less than they did in the 80s. So
that's the thing.
You know, it's not a matter of not wanting you to make more money.
No. Bands are making the same, if not less than what they were making in the 80s. And the $5 cover charge has been the same since the 80s. We get this. Nobody is pointing. No, I'm not saying you to the bands. That's not what this is. But it has to line up and it has to make sense. And if the bar's not making the money, then the bar can't pay more at the bands. And that's why a lot of these venues are either shutting down or stopped doing live music in general. Because they can't afford
it. Good comment, Brian.
I think bands have to be realistic about what kind of crowd they bring, and they have to realize that every venue is different. You know, you're right, Brian. And what's weird, though, is that some bands are just shocked that they didn't bring a busy crowd. And I'm like, well, you've never been there to know of what's busy or not. But yeah, do your research. Know what, I'm liking all these comments. People
Jim, I love your comment about a 2-drink minimum, but I will tell you that is a recipe for disaster in a bar because not only with the law and all kinds of other things, it's probably best not to do that.
Oh no, yeah.
There's
bars.
No
fix to that. There's no $2 minimum, charge more at the door. Those things don't unfortunately work because it affects somebody on the other side. It is a strategic. It's very strategic. It's not easy. It has to balance out. And sometimes the only way it balances out is by cutting it out.
And Tina's comment from O'Connor's in Springfield ought to scare bands to death. I have nothing against DJs. I've been one for years, but I can tell you that a lot of bars are going to the DJ because it helps the bottom line.
Yep.
And it's not really changing their crowd.
No,
they're still drawing a crowd.
More money. Yeah, Tina, I've had musicians turn around and leave at the $5 cover. Musicians that have played my stage and have allowed other people to pay $5 when they played my stage.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Yeah, not all bands are making the same. That's a guarantee. And that's why if there's a certain number that you're trying to make more, you're asking for a raise, it has to make sense. You have to put in perspective, you're asking me for the same amount of money as this band's asking me, and this band consistently brings me the door and the register, and you haven't once brought me either, and you're already asking for that raise. That doesn't make sense. Why am I giving you more money? What are you giving me in return? I'll give you that more money once, but that's it.
Tell Kevin I
need to work half the time and doing half the work and then asking for more money.
Will you tell Kevin I need to go potty too? He just asked if I needed to go potty. I think I heard him in the background.
Not the dogs.
He knows that.
Not you.
He knows that, Coach.
Well, I need to go potty before I go to trivia. It's that time. We're about out of time. So what a great conversation today.
I did make you
Good
take
stuff.
more money, Dave Taylor.
That's funny.
I've said to bands when they've come at me because they want to get in the door, they're like, "We'll play for this number," and it's this really ridiculously low number. I said, "No, you can play for this." God, this woman every time she knows I do.
Answer
this
it.
show.
Put her on.
Hey, what's up? You're about to be.
Hit the speaker button, will you? Come on.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy Laverde is in the house.
Hi, everybody. It's Kathy.
We love you, Kathy.
Love you.
Do you want to call me back?
Yeah, well, yeah. Let me finish the show. Okay. Bye.
Okay, you know what? I'm getting Kathy a late birthday present, and it's going to be a sign that she can put up in her car and at home that says Tuesdays are Hot Topic Tuesday from 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't realize that some days. Gotta love her.
Yeah,
Love her. Hey, real quick recap of what's going on at the bar this weekend, if you can.
Yeah, so tonight is, like we said, it's Kevin Fox's songwriter showcase, and we're featuring Until Rust and John for. I keep messing up his last name.
Ferreira,
I think, and Kevin Fox. So that's tonight. And then on Wednesday is Rick Kern's solo show. On Thursday, we have the special jam spotlighting Johnny Stone. On Friday, we have Sugar Daddy. They're playing, which is going to be fun. They have some T-shirts to give away. And on Saturday, we have Blackbone Cat, where we're celebrating Monica and Kevin's birthday.
Yeah, and I'm going to miss that one, and I love both of those people, but I have to go to Crying Out Loud's final show ever, and I'm going to miss that band too. Hey, Turner and Company, they've been a great band in our area for a long time, so I'm going to make that one if I can get in. It's going to be packed. Hey, Dave Evans from Mojo Horizon, thank you for always being a good dude.
To do business with, too, to work with.
Yes,
they're great.
Good stuff.
Teamwork right there.
I'll be at the Moose tonight, coming off a week of 5 shows last week. I'm done. I'm ready for a break. So I'll be at the Bell and the Bear on Thursday night for the jam and talking about Jeff Meadows' law firm and all that
Jeff
stuff.
Meadows sponsoring this Thursday.
Be there.
We're also looking for one or two more sponsors for our shred off on March 22nd. If anybody's interested, it can be as low as, a couple $100, We're looking for some just stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now he's washing dishes.
No, he's just washing his hands. Trust me, he's not washing dishes.
Hey, we love y'all. Thanks for tuning in today. We appreciate you. Casey Gomez just got here. He says, let's go to the shred off. I agree. And let's go to Bob Klein's band on the night before the shred off.
Yes. That's
Rock House.
And it's CFG, Rock House, and then the shred off.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you, buddy. And Bob Klein, we'll see you soon. And
also, let me put this in everyone's ear. We're going to be having our drum off in December. Ooh.
Hey, Kevin, you back there?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
give me a woo there? We're getting a request for it.
Woo!
Thank you, buddy. I need to record that and put it in the board. I do. That would be fun. It would. It would be fun. Don't you think? Don't you think that'd be a good idea?
No.
Yes.
Working for the weekend, then I want to see a show.
All right, we got to get out of here fast today.
Hey,
So
put the disclaimer up.
thank you. Of course. Thank you, producer and boss, and all those other things that you are. There.
Disclaimer, the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of our sponsors or any entities they represent.
Wow. That was good. That was good. Today's show has been brought to you by the Bell and the Bear, located in beautiful downtown Montgomery. Well, close to downtown Montgomery. But Bell and the Bear.
Bell and the Bear, see you there tonight for Kevin Fox's Songwriter Showcase for original music.
Sounds like Mark Bransford's involved in that too. He's sure promoting the hell out of it.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you calling me out publicly on the page yesterday, opposed to just texting me privately to fix it. My mistake.
That's okay. She didn't put me on either.
God, I make one mistake. I was dealing with sadness.
Love you.
Love you.
Yes, and I didn't bring that up at the beginning of the show because I didn't want you to cry. But thank you for what you do for our fur babies.
Yeah.
You're a good soul.
I love them with all of my heart.